Simon is the senior politics editor for the Huffington Post. Easy for me to say. Margaret Hoover is a conservative commentator. Good morning to both of you. Let me start with you. Let's branch out, Sarah Palin, from just this governor's race to her Senate endorsement. Sort of a mixed bag. Some like Marco Rubio of Florida, Rand Paul of Kentucky, Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire. They won. Others, Christine O'Donnell, she lost. Sharon Angle lost. So when you look at all of that, you balance it out. Where does her influence stand at this point?
Oh, I think her influence is still deep and wide within the party. I think she's one of the people who got the Tea Party going, and the Tea Party in turn got the Republican Party going, like new spark plugs in the engine. And so I think even though she lost some big ones, like Christine O'Donnell, who had the Republicans won Delaware, they might be talking about winning the Senate right now. Still, I think overall she has to be counted a huge force. Her good friend Nikki Haley, where there's a Republican primary in 2012, is going to be presiding over that state.
To Howard's point, Sarah Palin endorsed over 75 candidates. About 48 of them won, 15 of them lost. There are 11 or so undecided still. So I agree with Howard. Her influence is still very much there. And there's also this question, remember, of how much do endorsements really matter? They give you a news cycle for the day, but remember when the Kennedys came out and endorsed Barack Obama over Hillary Clinton early on? There was this question of how much does endorsement matter? Does this really shift the weight, or is this just a news story for the day?
Well, I was going to ask you, does this help the GOP, or does it move the party too far to the right?
Well, that's going to be determined in Congress. I mean, the story now is going to be whether the Republican leadership, whether Mitch McConnell in the Senate or John Boehner in the House, can take the energy of the Tea Party without having the energy of the Tea Party drive them off the end of the cliff. We don't know the answer to that question. It's going to depend on the personalities and the policies they pursue over the next few months.
And this is certainly not a problem that John Boehner has not anticipated. I mean, they've certainly thought a lot about this. They have an influx of candidates coming in, and I think he has a very good plan to incorporate everyone. At the end of the day, the Tea Party gave a huge amount of energy to the Republican Party and to the establishment. It was a big wake-up call. There's some mixed results. Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, fabulous candidates, did very, very well. Sharon Angle, Christine O'Donnell might have cost us.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when all those Tea Party people get together. You know, they haven't all met each other, and they're going to get together in Washington for the first time. When they get together, we'll see what they decide to do.
Is Sarah Palin the de facto leader of the Tea Party?
No, I think she's the de facto headline maker of the party, but that doesn't make her the leader. Right now, they don't have one. It's going to be interesting to see if they get one in Congress.
A grassroots movement with 650 organizations plus all over the country doesn't have one leader. So Sarah Palin, certainly, I agree with you. She makes a lot of headlines. A lot of people turn to her, but she is not the leader. It's not a leaderless movement.
You have a lot of discussion among established Republicans who say they're worried about Sarah Palin running in 2012. They think it would be very bad for their party. So how do they, balance on the one hand the influence that she has with their concerns about what she might do to the party?
Well, that's called leadership. I mean, they want the energy that she represents, but it's true that in the national polls, in general election races, in their view, and I think in the view of many observers, she's a disaster. But they also have other candidates they're pursuing. One reason you're hearing all the anonymous comments about Sarah Palin is they've got other horses that they're riding right now.
Well, and if the Republicans have learned anything this election cycle, is that a Republican establishment cannot pick its candidates. The Republican Party and the grassroots of voters are going to pick their candidates, not the establishment.
All right, Howard Fineman and Margaret, thank you so much. Margaret Hoover.
Thank you.
Now let's get a check of the weather from Al.